Good evening, everyone. My name is Someshwar. I welcome all of you on behalf of Art of Living organization to योग वाशिष्ठ इवनिंग सेशन। नमस्ते, मैं सोमेश्वर आप सभी का आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग संस्था की तरफ से योग वाशिष्ठ के सायंकाल के सत्र में स्वागत करता हूँ। रोज की तरह हम लोग आज के सत्र की भी शुरुआत ओम के नाद से करेंगे। We'll begin our session by chanting ओम 3 times. Today we are on day 105. आज हम लोग 105वें सत्र में पहुंच चुके हैं। And today we will be looking at, we'll continue with the Chudalakhyan, and there is a very beautiful knowledge point that comes here, that different types of adis and vadis means usually we suffer, right? Because of there is the body is not in a proper thing, it's a sick. Because of that we don't tend to achieve the results that we wanted to achieve, whatever we do, be it in a material life or be it in a spiritual life. So this is adi. Adi is something related to your mind. Vyadi is something related to your body. So this adi and vyadi, that becomes the root cause of that becomes an obstacle, and this is also considered as one of the obstacles in Patanjali Yoga Sutras also. So which are those adis, vyadis? What are the root causes of that? What are the different preventive and corrective cures available for this? All this knowledge will come into picture here. We'll go into details of multiple perspective. We'll see the perspective of Patanjali. We'll see the perspective of Yog Vaashishtha. We'll see the perspective of modern biology and modern science. And then we'll also see the multiple other aspects of, for example, the allopathy is there, the Ayurveda is there, then we have homeopathy, then we also have Reiki, and then we also have the certain things related to mantras. No? That's a spiritual aspect of it. So multiple aspects, no? Spiritual aspect, scientific, biological aspect, Yoga Vaashishtha aspect, Patanjali aspect, and then other homeopathy, allopathy, Reiki, multiple other ways of healing, ways of curing this body, or even so that you will not fall ill. No, आप बीमार ही नहीं पड़ोगे ऐसा क्या? No, and art of living aspect also, because art of living also have a wellness program. So we will see all such aspects. We will not go into details of that, but we'll just touch base upon, because this subject is very deep. People get MBBS and masters, doctors. So this subject is very big. Neither I am expert in that. I am a technology person. So I come from a technology background. So whatever little bit that I know, whatever little bit that Gurudev has taught us, that is something I would like to share with you. At the end of the session, we'll also request all our participants to share what if they know something related to this topic. They are welcome to share, depending upon whatever the skills they have. For example, Sangeeta ji is there. She is also a spiritual healing. Now she comes from a Reiki background. So Sangeeta ji will also introduce a little bit more about Reiki and how the healing happens. So likewise, if you are also expert in any particular aspect of today's topic, you are welcome to share your views. Definitely, I'll open up a session for that, and you will be able to share that. So for the time being, let's start our session by chanting Om 3 times. This Om itself is a part of some healing that happens. How that we'll see when we talk about how the spiritual healing happens. Let's all close our eyes. आंखें बंद कर ले. Sit comfortably, आराम से बैठ जाए. रीढ़ की हड्डी सीधी, spine erect, neck straight. And let us close our eyes. आंखें बंद कर ले. Relax your shoulders. And let us bring back our attention to our breath. Observe the flow of breath and let go. Take one more deep breath and let go. Let's take a deep breath for Omkar chanting. Let us invoke that energy, that divinity within. गुरु का आवाहन कर ले. आवाहनम आवाहनम पुनः पुनः Let's express our gratitude towards the master. गुरु वंदना कर ले. गुरुर् ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर् साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Let us pray to the master. Whatever the words that come out of this mouth, whatever the actions that are happening, whatever the thoughts that hover onto this mind and the power of discrimination arise in our intellect, the impressions that might be getting created, and it's still there is an iota of that I, me. Let all these known and unknown levels of our existence be inspired by the master alone. We, the people walking on the path of liberation, if you have already felt that, experienced that liberation, that mukti, moksha, so this remaining life, and if you have to come back here again, even that as well, be inspired by the master alone. Pray like this. Feeling the presence of the master within and outside, slowly and gradually, you may open your eyes. धीरे धीरे अपनी प्यारी सी आंखें खोल सकते हो. जय गुरुदेव. So today we are on 105. आज हम लोग 105वें सत्र में यहाँ पे पहुंच चुके हैं. We are still continuing with the Chudala Akhyan, where Chudala wants to go ahead and she wants to achieve some siddhis. No? some Akash Gaman Siddhis. So now to do that, she goes into the forest and she starts doing some practices. Now, this is where the Rama also gets interested. Oh, wow, something very curious, something which is worth learning in our life. So he asks Vasishtha Muni, kindly tell me what are those siddhis, what are the things that one has to do, how do we practice it? And that is where Vasishtha Muni gives the knowledge of the Nadi Vigyan, about the body, no, about different pancha pranas. Then he also gives the knowledge about the chakras, no, all these energy centers. Then he also speaks about Kundalini. And when after hearing all these things, he comes to the point that when he shares that when this samana vritti, no, there is this samana vritti is there, that once we have in the body, when it is there, there is the stoppage or the blockage that you do, no, using your kumbhaka and stopping your breath in between. That is the thing when somebody does using your pranayam like prana and apana. We do that, then the outgoing and incoming vayu, that breath is there. Based on that, these other functions, the other bodies, 5 elements and its formed body, and the 5 pancha indriyas, and even the mana buddhi ahankar, all these things gets activated because of that. And once you do the nirod, once you put the blockage, put the obstacle in the path of that, then these things also settles down. So that is the thing. So it's vice versa, it's linked to it. And not only this, he says that not only that, this is your all the vyadhis, all your diseases also will run away from you, and if you don't have, they will not come near to you. Not only that, even the vardhakya, even your old age also will be prolonged. It will not come so early, and even in certain cases, even the death also will not come. No? So then Rama asked the question here that, oh wow, this is something. He says, Munishwara, you mentioned something about this vyadhi. So I heard about this Adi Vyadhi. So how they actually created in our all these diseases, no? Psychosomatic disease and the diseases that we see, how they actually created in our body or in our mind, and then how do we remove them from our system, or how one can go ahead and prevent them that they does not come to you. So this is the thing that Rama asked. So they becomes the root cause of the dukkha that one goes through, the pain that one goes through, either at the bodily level, in the form of a disease, in the form of a pain, or in the form of a vyadhi is what we call. And then at the level of your mind, vasanas, the desires, cravings, etc., at the level of your mind, and that becomes the root cause of your sorrow, that is called adi. So this is Vasishtha Muni starts addressing here. So we will see the details of that. There is one more announcement that I wanted to make here, that today, starting at 9 o'clock, all our previous sessions, what we have conducted, we will be going live on a premiere. We'll be doing a premiere on the YouTube, because many people said that they are not able to access many of the content on Facebook. Because of that, they have to go to and fro, and then they lose a track. We have already launched our YouTube channel called youtube.com/Yog Vaashishtha. So this is the channel, and on this channel, all the sessions, till date, whatever the sessions that we have conducted, all these sessions will be premiering. So we'll do the premiere of that. What is called as premiere? Why it's called premiere? It's a first time. It will be available on YouTube. So it is called as premiere. So every single day at 9 o'clock in the evening, that is 9 p.m. IST, Indian Standard Time, IST, we will be going premiering these sessions one by one. So 9 p.m. in the night and 9 a.m. in the morning. Also, we will go premiere, that. So even though we are going to continue to go premiere of these videos for day 1, day 2, day 3, and so on, our sessions, these sessions, today we are on 105, These sessions will continue to happen at 8 a.m. in the morning and 8 p.m. in the evening. So this session on Zoom will continue to happen as it is, and we will also additionally, in addition to this, we will also doing this premiere videos of video premieres on YouTube, so that it will be easier for people to go ahead and watch it on YouTube. All the earlier videos, they are also available on Facebook. That links is also shared, but in addition to that, we will be now, as we have our own YouTube channel, we'll be going putting all these videos there also, so that it becomes easier for people to go ahead and, so this becomes a seva for us, that whenever you have a time available around 9 p.m. in the night or 9 a.m. in the night, you go on to those videos, go into that channel, go there, and you will also see that you will be able to comment also. No? So you'll be able to comment there. You'll be able to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll be able to share that YouTube channel on multiple WhatsApp group and social media. So that becomes our seva. So that will be an opportunity for us to spread this knowledge to all the people. So that is the additional thing that I just wanted to mention here. So Zoom sessions continues as it is at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. In addition to this YouTube channel, premiere videos will go. So now when Lord Rama asked these questions to Vaashishtha Muni, here Vaashishtha Muni starts addressing that these there are these two types of Vyadhis and Adhis that comes into picture. Let us see the root cause of that, and let's see what are the reasons for this, why they do come, and how do we can take care of that. So his first thing, that there is something called as Adhi and Vyadhi. These are the two terminologies. The one is called as Vyadhi, which we all know at the level of body, no? That we suffer, no? Whatever kind of disease, but it is at the level of the body we suffer. It is at the it's called Sharirik, no? It's in Hindi it's called Sharirik. That is at the level of body you suffer something. It's called Vyadhi. That's a terminology called Vyadhi. And then there is something called as Adi. What is Adi? Is psychosomatic. No, it's at the level of your mind. There are multiple things that happen. For example, insomnia is there. For example, the bulimia is there. You cannot stop eating. Or for example, you don't get sleep in the night. No? So effect of that is obviously on the body, but the root cause is at the level of your mind. So that is those are called Adis. So these are the two things, because of which one gets into the dukha, the sorrow, the pain, or the rogue is what called disease. One get a diseased body or the diseased mind. So in these two, there is some root causes, and that root cause is really the ignorance. That is the agyan. Because of the ignorance, because of the lack of knowledge, one get caught up into all these things. And the solution is that this agyan, or something called as aviveka, means the vivek is not there, that pragya, that knowledge is not there, using which you will be able to discriminate what is good, what is bad, that kind of thing. And because of that only you will get stuck into, and then ultimately it will start translating into either Adi or Vyadhi. So that is the root cause of this is Multa, is your ignorance about yourself, about body, about mind, about how the things are, about the type of food that you eat, about everything. If that knowledge is not there, then you tend to do mistakes, and then you will pay for that. As a consequences, you pay for that either at the level of body or at the level of your mind. That is what we say karma, and it's karma bhog. Means the actions that you do, and as a consequences, the fruit that you bear out of that, that is what is your Adis and Vyadhi in the form of that you go, or good also. You write the good fruits also of your karma. But here you have seen in Yog Vaashishtha, both are not required. Don't get into punya or karma concept. You just flow through the things, actions, as if you are completely detached. No, so these are the first root cause of that. Everything is your ignorance about the things, ignorance about the body, ignorance about all the things that we saw. That is exactly that ignorance is removed when we do the Art of Living Happiness program. We got to know about our body, we got to know about our other levels of our existence, how they function, and then obviously it becomes a preventive maintenance for us to get rid of that. At the same time, if you want to go focus more on your body and other related things on mind, so there is a wellness program also, how one can be well. So it's not just being physically fit, it's also being well. So that being well also includes your not just the body but also the mind and the other aspects of your existence. So those things are covered into more focused on body and mind, more focused on those aspects of well-being. They are covered into Art of Living wellness program. So definitely go and do a happiness program or the wellness program if you are not yet done. So that they cover all these things into very, very details. So he continues to explain that then the Moolbhut Upaya, if the Mool solution for this is to get into knowledge. What type of knowledge? The knowledge about your self, the knowledge about your existence, the knowledge about the food, the knowledge about the body, the knowledge about this existence, the knowledge about the people, behavior, all these things that comes into that. This becomes the primary preventive action that one can take. And even if there is already some damage already happened, we can also recover from that using this knowledge. So this is at the level of knowledge that one can really take care of this. Then here Vasishtha Muni continues to explain that Rama, all these Vishayas, the outward going tendencies of your senses, then your Indriyas, your five senses, and then associated different things, because we are not aware about how these Indriyas function, how they tend to go outward, all these things, because of that ignorance, because the knowledge of that is not there, this Manushya, this human, gets entangled into the Vishayas. They get caught up into those outward tendencies of its mind. Then after that, once it control on the senses lose, that you lose the control on your senses. Then once you lost the control on senses, you are caught up in those Vishayas. Then what's happening? Your body is already, your stomach is already full, but just because your tongues want some taste, you go and eat, then you suffer. Okay, it's already 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, you know it's time to sleep. It's already late, you should sleep much earlier than that. Yet there is a movie going on and you keep on looking at sense of sight. You are caught up in those Vishayas, and then you are not listening to your body. Your eyes wants to sleep, it needs to sleep, it needs rest. Yet you keep on looking at movie because there is some interesting thing that is going on and you are caught up in that. So see how these things, how these five senses and its outward going tendencies are causing the trouble to you at the physical level also and at the mind level also, in both ways. Then somebody comes to you something, and then they express something, and then you are caught up in that thought that somebody said something to me. Now this is not physically. You will see physically he is fit and fine, acha khasa tagda jawan hai, but you look at, he has caught up into inside the mind that somebody said something to me. He said, why he said something to me? He did apamana, no, he insulted me. See, all these things they are on the subtle level, they are at the level of mind, no, but they are causing you pain, they are causing you the sorrow, no. So that is where the Adi and Vadi both comes into picture, and the root cause of all these things, no, is into knowledge. So don't be the football of other people's opinion. No, knowledge helps you to get out of it. No, also the practices, sadhana, seva, satsang, all these things also are the following the practices taught in the wellness program, also helps you as a preventive maintenance or also corrective cure. It helps both the things, helps you in this thing. So this is what is going on, this is what is coming up. So he says that somebody said something to me, no, because of that, then I would like to take a revenge. Now that anger comes, no. So all these other vikaras, those shandripus, kama, lust, no, you are not supposed to do that, you do overdo it. It's just a reproduction, but you do it for the pleasure. So see, kama, krodha, anger, we do so much of mistakes. When you are actually angry, there's so many different types of enzymes, there are so many different types of toxins that is created in your body. Talking something negative about somebody, ninda, Now see, so many things happens inside your body. At the level of mind also, you feel that entire energy is drained. Kama, krodha, lobha, you get entangled into something called as moha, lobha. Lobha is that greed, that I want more. You already have so much, but you still want more. And to do that, what you do then? Or you already work for 15 hours, but I want more, more money, I'll work more. And then you keep on working for more number of times. You do not look after the needs of this body also. No, greed. Greed can be of these vishayas, or it can be of anything. So greed, kama, krodha, lobha, mada. Mada means that unnecessary ahankar, that pride that one takes inside. No, because of that also you tend to lose your relationship. Once you lose your relationship, then automatically it has an impact on your mind, and then it will have an impact on your body also, and you fall sick. Mada, kama, krodha, mada, moha. Moha means that entanglement, that attachment that we carry with the people, situation, objects. And because of that, ultimately, then also it affects your mind and your body. Kam, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsara, jealousy, no, hatred about somebody. That also becomes the root cause. I said ninda. Ninda, some talking something bad about somebody is also affects your mind very badly. It creates those type of, at the level of body also, it creates different emotions. It creates those different types of chemical neuropeptides, and then again it will have a very bad impact on your psyche and ultimately your body also. So all this raga dveshadi, one gets caught up into this. No, then other than that, he also talk about the alasya. Now let's look at that. Whatever the 9 obstacles that we saw in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, they are not just becoming an obstacle on the path of yoga alone. Not only the spiritual upliftment alone, it also becomes the path of your whatever the material life that you are leading in your life. That becomes the root cause and obstacle in that path also, that you want to be healthy. All these 9 obstacles can become, they ultimately, because of those obstacles, one get into adi and vyadi. So which are those? So 9 obstacles, and we'll just look, because they are very, very important towards this subject, that why one get actually caught up into these adis and vyadis. So the first thing is said that vyadi itself is the obstacle, that you have physical illness becomes your block. It becomes an obstacle in the path of your yoga, or what your material spiritual goals that you want to attain. This becomes the first obstacle. Then the second one is called as sthana. Sthana means lack of enthusiasm, lack of interest in anything. So it gets into kind of depressive state. When you are not doing things what you are supposed to do, you are not doing that. So that becomes the sthana. So it is more of, first thing is more at the level of body, vyadi, and the adi, something adi related, it's called sthana. This is adi, psychosomatic. So this is there, this vyadi is there, then adi, this sthana is there. Then other than that, there is a alasya, there is a laziness that is there. That you are lazy, and then whatever you are supposed to do, you don't do it. No, just because you are lazy. Either your body, you are lazy at the level of body, or you are lazy at the level of your mind. With using both the wing, this alasya becomes the root cause. Again, it translates into that you are supposed to go for a walk, you are not going. You are supposed to do your exercise, yoga, you are not doing it. All this because of just pure laziness becomes an obstacle, becomes the root cause of all these things. Then other than that, pramada, knowing something good for you but still not doing it, and doing something which is not good for you but still doing it. Your stomach is full, you keep on eating. All these things, that becomes the part of pramada. Knowing, you know it, but still you are not following it, you're not practicing, becomes the pramada. Then multiple others are there, like you have the avirati, that you are got stuck into desires and cravings. That becomes, again, we already seen, that becomes your root cause, that becomes the root cause of your adis and vyadis. Then there is something called as alabdha bhumikatva, and then there is something called as anavastitatva. So what is this? Alabdha bhumikatva, that I am practicing this, but I am not getting something. I want to achieve something, I am not getting that. Alabdha bhumikatva, not. Then anavastitatva, I got something, not able to retain all these things. So all these things, if you see, there are total 9 such obstacles are there, which becomes the real root cause of your adis and vyadis. So all these things are mentioned multiple times here in a things. So we have seen that. So because of that only one get caught up into moha. We already seen that. So this says that then it becomes translated into the vyadis. Then the desires, that cravings that one get caught up into. And then also the another root cause is something which is at the level of your body. When we eat food, the type of that food, look at now today, the chemical farming, because of that the type of food that we it is itself is contaminated. So how will not get your adi and vyadi? How your body will not suffer? It's obviously will suffer. Going to Delhi, look at the Delhi and the pollution that is there in the outside environment. This air quality index AQI has crossed more than 4 and 450. It says above 100 itself is bad. Then it's very bad. Then it's very bad, and it has gone even that 400 or mark already crossed that. So this is extremely dangerous. That thing is extremely dangerous. So your air quality, that these are all sources of energy. We have seen this. You're not eating the proper food, you're not getting the proper quality of air. How this body will sustain? Then because of that, vyadi will be there. So this disease will be there. So these adis and vyadis, so outside environment, the type of food that we eat, all these things. And not only this, the way the food is prepared, that also matters a lot. That the one who is preparing the food, what is the conscious level, how they are thinking, are they are cursing, are they angry, are they caught up in all this kam, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsara? The effect of that food will be there again on you. You will behave in the same fashion. So even that is also very important. That becomes all the root causes. Then eating at even the type of thing that comes under your daily routine. So not eating the food at right time, not doing your actions, those doing that probably doing the sex at the wrong time. Then doing all these other vyavaras, being with the bad company of the people. Then having a fear in your mind about, let's say, snake or ghost or the thieves or any such people, having a lot of fear, because this fear also becomes the cause of your psychosomatic. This. Then the past karmas, the sanchit karmas. We see this thing happen. That is what the eternity process addresses. Something which you are carrying, and you don't know the root cause, and yet it is troubling you. That also becomes the root cause of your adis and vyadis. Adi is at the level of your mind, you are suffering, and then vyadi is at the level of your body, you are suffering. So adi and vyadi, that becomes also the root cause, that because of that fear, that you are carrying that fear, that becomes the root cause of that. Then other than that, these different, if you look at this body, it has all these different nadis, 72,000 nadis. Because of that, this balance between them will there. And then once that happens, then other than that, if you look at your body, this kapha, pitta and vata, that comes into picture. That is where our Ayurveda comes into picture. So because of that, if one gets distorted, again you will get caught up into adi and vyadi. Again, that will become the root cause of that. So then if you are all these 100 nadis and it's 72,000 branches, if there is some blockage in that, then also you get caught up into vyadis. We see the cholesterol that increases and it blocks your blood streams, and then also it blocks your breathing and all that. If you see all these things, it's because of that cholesterol that you see that it has an impact on your breathing pattern, it has an impact on your heart, and then people get caught up in cardiac attack. So we've seen this, all this, how the blockages and how these things, and there are a number of such diseases. We are not going to details of that because that's not what we can cover here. We have a limited time frame. So all these things, because of this vata, kapha, pitta, they get imbalanced, and then one really go and gets into some cardiac attack, cardiac arrest. So like this. So these are all the things that say because of there is some problems, there is some blockage in your nadis. This thing. So Vaashishtha Muni addresses Rama like this: if all the different vyadis, all different diseases that's created in your at the level of your body. These are all the different avasthas. These are all different reasons. And just like there is the season changes, the rainy season turns into the summer season, and then there is a different shape that a river gets into the different shape. Similar to that, this pushed someone with very holding a very healthy body, and it suddenly gets into becomes crushed. Means suddenly it gets into caught up into disease. All these things. This is because of the Vyadhis only. They got caught up into some diseases. No? So this Adi and Vyadhi, the root cause, that is again the Purva Janma and the associated karmas and the associated sanskaras and the buddhis that one carry. Because even this, that whatever is more prominent, more powerful, then one get caught up into that, and again that inspires or demotivates one person to do any particular type of karma, and then again one gets caught up into these things. Now see how both things affects each other. That is also explained here, that at some point of time it's something called as disease is psychosomatic, not dealt with, then it will start impacting your body. Vice versa also it's true. No, psychosomatic, some problem at the mind level, then causing its dukkha, sorrow, and then ultimately not dealt with, starts affecting your body. How it is vice versa true? For example, you got caught up into accident, and now there is nothing psychosomatic. No, it's accident. Suddenly you lost your hand, or suddenly you your bones are broke up, and now you're sitting in hospital, or you are on a wheelchair. Now see, the Vyadhi has come at the level of the body. And now as you have lost that access, lost your access to your eyes, lost access to your some of the panchendriyas, lost access to your mobility. Now look, the Vyadhi which has happened at the body level now will start creating a problem at the mind also. So it can flow in this direction also, can flow in this direction. Both influence each other. Not only that, he says that not only this, it also impacts your breathing pattern. So contrary, if you control your breathing pattern also, you will be able to control these other things. No? So we say that when you are in anger, how your breath pattern flows. No, we have seen all these things. If you have done the Art of Living course, definitely we have gone through details of all these things. Right now we'll not get into details of that. So all these things, that is what happens both way, it has impact. Now if you see at the level of your mind, all these things, how it does and how does it create that imbalance, we have addressed that also. No? Somebody says something and then you get at a level of mind, and there are so many such diseases. No? This bulimia, insomnia, all these things are at the level of your mind. Definitely yoga, pranayam, meditation helps us. So that is where what is explained here. Now let's look at the other things. It says about the prana, Rama. This is Rama. This prana vayu, this also has that effects of that, no, that the spandan, that vibration that it carries, and it flows to pancha prana, flows through your body, and then all the actions that happens in that also. The thing, the mukhya, the first one, which is very pramukh, that is called as your pachana system, is your digestion system. Now again, even our kids also are studying biology, and they also know all these different systems which are there in our body. So we'll not get into detail of that. We know this, but it is said that this, like just like there are this pramukh, that is the digestion system, and in that there is something which is very important thing. Now this comes from Ayurveda, that there are sapta dhatus. There are 7 different dhatus which are there in your system, and if they go into imbalance, then also you go into it. So how does that happen? So he says that just like if you are cutting using a saw, you are cutting any wood now, and then if you do increase the speed of that, then there'll be sparks that will come up. No? Similar to that, this apan and pan, it continuously keep moving in your system. It creates that friction, and because of that agni is generated. So that agni is generated inside your jatara. So that agni is generated inside your stomach here, and that is that jatara agni. That is where you say that you are hungry. That is when you eat the food, and all the digestive juices, like pitta and all these things, they form in your body. Digestive juices are able to digest your food, And if this is not in control, then all the things like constipation and all the other things that comes into picture. So that is also one of the thing very important. And how does that happen? So it says there are two different above your navel and below your navel there is something called as amashay and pakashay. So there where the food digests, and there is an amashay, that pittashay, that. So these are all some of the root causes. This concepts come from the Ayurveda, and that obviously it has an physiological impact also. Get into the wellness program. All this, what is ama, what is pitta, what is kapha, what are those doshas, how do they affect your bodies, how one can really have a solution of that. Details of that are well covered in the wellness program. Hook on to any of the wellness program, you'll get into details of that. Here we will not go into details of that. So we'll look into what are the sapta dhatus. So the first we said as is the ras. When our body, so it says that when you eat food, then when your all these digestive systems get so it produces something called as parinama. This is the outcome. Parinama is its outcome. So the first thing what it produces is the paka, and then that paka means basically digestive fluid form it actually goes. That is the reason it is said that it's very important for you to chew your food properly, because it will mix the saliva and it will become that the food will be able to digest it. So that gives it becomes in the form of very liquid fluid, that thing called paka. Then this is absorbed, all the nutritions are absorbed into your body, gets into translated something called as rasa. So that is the first one, is called the your body fluid. So this body fluid get translated into rakta, that is the blood, that is the second dhatu. Then it get translated into your muscular muscles, that is called as mass. Then it same thing, it's also called as tvacha, muscular, that is the tvacha. Then it gets translated into something called as medha, that is the adipose tissues. Then it gets translated into your majja. Majja is basically your bone marrow and your nervous tissues. That is the root thing. When you say that your autonomous nervous systems comes into picture, that is how you perceive the things, your receptors. You can using this bone marrow and this nervous system, the signals are sent to your brain, and then that is where it processes the information and then gives the response. So that is the majja. Then the asti, the skeleton of your body is called asti, and then the last dhatu is called a shukra, your semen or your ovum. In case of female it is ovum, and in case of male it is the semen or sperms, all these things. So those are also called dhatu. So these are all called sapta dhatus. So very, very important. Why it is said that when you are not supposed to do overdoing of sex, you are actually wasting your energy, because this is one of the sapta dhatu. And then when you lose that, then obviously lose that energy. So when you are doing your exams, when you are doing, see, there is nothing wrong here. We are not saying it is wrong or right. So it's a part of your system, and it's absolutely fine. But then use it at the right time, in the right place, in the right manner. Then it will benefit you. Otherwise, it will put you down. You are going for an exam tomorrow, and on the other day you do all these things, or you are going for the exam, and right before 1 hour you eat so much of food, so much of rajasic food. What will happen? You will feel very lazy, very lethargic. Will it not have an impact on your exam? It's not just exam. In everything that you do, it will have an impact on your work. It will have an impact on your business. It will have an impact on everything what you are doing, on all your actions. So it says that it's very, very important for one to get into knowledge. What is that we are trying to acquire here? So this is the root cause, that ignorance, that not knowing things the way it is. Knowing the things the way it is helps you to get into the preventive maintenance, the preventive cure, and also you can also, if something has already happened, can also get into the corrective cure. So all these things are explained here related to the sapta dhatus. So he also continues, Vaashishtha Muni also continues, and he tells about the different types of vyadhis. So he says there are two mukhya. The two prime are, the one is the one which is sadharan, the simple one, and the one which is there, which is the long, which is the complex. So these are the two types of vyadhis which are said. So for example, you feeling hungry, then you feeling thirsty, then you feeling an attraction towards the opposite sex, all these things, and because of that, if it is creating any vyadhi, any disease in your body, then that is called as sadharan. No, that is okay. So with some effort, you will be able to cure that. Then the other things related to birth, your vardhakya, your old age, then your mrityu, your death, etc. There is a root. No, the first thing that we spoke of, we all know. Now this is something which is very important, which is not known to many people. So there is a root of that is called as sar. So that is called as ati druda vyadhi. That its root is the sar, and that's called as ati druda, means it is there from a longer time. That vyadhi exists in us, and because of that only one gets into these things: jara, vardhakya, then mrityu, the death, and even the birth also. So it is called as that sar. Then because of the food, then the drink, the water that we drink, no, and then Sri Putradik Labha, means all the other things that we reproductive system, no, and all other things, once that is satisfied, no, then all these sadharan vyadhis, these normal simple vyadhis, diseases, they can disappear. And even at the level of psychosomatic, that manasik, that also gets vanished. But then once one get into this knowledge, no, that this what you consider as a snake is not a real snake, it is just a some rope, no, that knowledge, such type of knowledge, obviously automatically the snake will disappear and the associated fear will also disappear. So something like that, something like this, somebody who is have that fear of the snake in their mind, like that, this sara, this is the thing that is which becomes a druda. It becomes the continuous over a longer time. It is, we cannot remove that other than the atma vichara, other than the self-realization, no, that knowledge. No? So then for using that only, that atma vichara, that knowledge, only one can do the niras, means this sara now, namak vyadhi. No? This you can remove that from your system. So just like when there is a tsunami that happens, and once it comes, it will just take away all the village, entire village with it. Like that, the moment this knowledge dawns, it will just take away all this entire, all these adis and vadis. From the root, it will be completely removed from your system. Now here also it is explained importance of mantras and its effect on your body and your mind also, and how it can remove the different doshas. So when we go into this, what is mantra? So what we are talking about here, we are basically talking about that adis and vadis, or these diseases, either at the level of body or at the level of your mind, does exist, and we have seen in detail. We have seen. Now let's talk about the upayas, and some of the upayas also we seen, some of the solutions are also means like atma jnana, self-realization. These are the root causes of this. Knowledge about everything that we spoke also is the upaya, also the solution. So if you see, the solution comes into multiple ways. So the first solution that comes into, the first and the foremost, is the knowledge. Get into knowledge, you will be able to deal with your adis and vedis. The second thing that comes into picture is, now do what you are supposed to do. No actions, sadhana, seva, satsang, do it. Then you will get into the things. Third, then there are different practices. So the one which is said mantra, it's a spiritual practice. Atma jnana is a spiritual practice. Then your sadhana, seva, satsang is some physical, some spiritual. Pranayama, some physical, some at the level of body, at the level of mind. This thing. Then when you go into other solutions other than spiritual and things, then we have seen that there are multiple faculties, there are multiple streams. So we know that allopathy exists, but we see the allopathy, what they deal with. Now obviously in allopathy, in surgery, there are certain things which are very important. Certain things, when we talk about the solution, certain things have a direct immediate impact, immediate solution which is required. For example, if you have to perform surgery, you'll be given an anesthesia, it's immediate effect. That time we cannot say, okay, let me chant mantras and then I will do the surgery of that. May not help, right? So certain thing help. It's not that it will not help. Again, immediately it may not help. Long-term impact is obviously there. So everything has its own importance. We are not discarding anything. We are not saying this is good or this is bad. No, we are just saying this is what it exists. So we've seen that there is an allopathy that exists. Allopathy has some pros, and allopathy does have its cons also. Sometimes it's not deals, like sometimes people use these steroids and then how it has an impact. Sometimes people use these antibiotics and then how it has a bad impact on you. We have also seen the chemical farming. It earlier started giving more ills, but then now we know bad impacts of this chemical farming. No, so some things initially looks good, but then in long term they may or may not be good. No, so these are all some controversies runs around your allopathy. Then you have something called as Ayurveda. So Ayurveda has its own. Ayurveda is usually confused with only the Ayurvedic medicines, but Ayurveda is not just limited to that. Ayurveda is very big concept. No, it's Ayur means the life, and the Veda means the knowledge. Knowledge about your life comes under your Ayurveda, and there is also a stream of faculty of Aushadhi and also something called as Rasayana. Rasayana means preventive maintenance. Aushadhi is your corrective maintenance. So both. So your Chavanprash is your Rasayana, and then having any particular tablet, or let's say if you go and want to clear your stomach, so you go and eat the Beheda, it will clear all your constipation, it will clear your stomach. That becomes used as a Aushadhi. When you eat Chavanprash, it builds up your immune system. That comes in the form of Rasayana. So that this is just that Aushadhi and that Rasayana aspect. But Ayurveda is what? What is that we are discussing here? Yog Vaashishtha, Yog, Dainandin routine, wellness program, happiness program, advanced meditation program, all this, what it comes under? It comes under here the way of leading your life. Ayurveda. So that is one faculty, that is one path that one used to deal with this Vyadhis and Adhis. So Ayurveda usually focus removing the entire root cause from your system. Then we also know that there is something called as homeopathy. What is homeopathy? In homeopathy, where they say if there is a disease, no, homeopathy works like a vaccination. No? What we do in vaccination, we take the little bit or the weaker virus of the same type, because of which this disease is caused. And then using those homeopathic tablet that they comes in the round shaped, those white tablets, that is being given to you, and then if you feed that to the patients, then your immune system will attack, and they are weaker, so they will be able to kill it, and then ultimately one will get, your immune system will increase, and you will be able to come out of that particular disease completely. Now this is an aspect of homeopathy. Now there is another aspect of spiritual way of dealing with the things, and healing happens, biological healing happens. Healing also happens at the level of your mind also, but there are certain more types of healing that comes into picture, and that is where the spiritual aspect comes into picture. That is where your mantras comes into picture. That is where your aura comes into picture. That is where your healing at a different level comes into picture. That is where the Reiki comes into picture. And there are other few things of dealing with something called acupuncture. When you put some pressure on some particular of your points, then that also allow you to heal. One of my friend Omkar Nisal, he shared a technique. If you do this particular technique at your foot, you will be able to remove your spectacles also, or at least it will reduce the power. So such thing that comes under your acupuncture. So all these multiple ways of dealing with your things are available. Fortunately today, one of the experts of along these topics related to Reiki and the spiritual healing, we have Sangeeta ji with us. I'd like to invite Sangeeta ji to take over and kindly explain us few more details about how this spiritual healing, how this aura related healing, how this Reiki, what is Reiki, how does one get healed? No, they can come out of this Adis and Adis using Reiki is something which kindly walk us through. Over to you, Sangeeta ji.
Thank you, Someshwarji. You explained so beautifully. It is not only the Ayurveda. They all, when they work together, getting the healing, it is called holistic approach towards your health. So that is what is coming up now, you know. Not only, see, when you take painkillers, it is what? Just suppressing it for 4 hours. You know, everything is there only. just on the top. And that also, what is that painkiller? If I tell you, it is the sensors in your brain which senses that pain and gives you that, impulse that it's paining. So they go and block those sensors with those painkillers. So you don't feel the pain and you feel, oh, I'm all right, but you're not getting all right. Everything is there. And after 4 hours, again, you start getting it. Or when the medicine, subsides, again, those sensors start working and then you get the pain. So these are all what we saw now are the holistic approach to one's healthy life. And now what happens if we see to it actually? So what is that disease? What do you call? What is a disease? Disease means dis-ease. The body is not at ease at all. That is what is called disease. And how they come up is what Someshwarji has explained so beautifully. So now we will see the healing methods of that. So in the natural healing, as we just heard him about, there are present moment is enough. Hypnotherapy, you have hypnosis, then you have naturopathy, then you have massage therapy, you have binaural beats, that is those musics and those hertz which keep on, affecting you in your levels of your energies. Yeah. Then these, of course, they heal with the mental disorders and the pain. Along with that, we just saw now homeopathy, reflexology and acupuncture also, how they stimulate your self-healing mechanisms in no time, just like acupuncture he said now. So these are the traditional cultures believe that healing is derived from the divine and utilize a holistic approach to healing, including the body, mind, and spirit. And in the most traditional healing systems, disease is thought to occur if there is a disturbance in the body. That is just we saw now, or in the mind or in the spirit. So this is, So what happens is, then it is manifested in the physical, psychological, or spiritual reliefs. There it is. Or it is a combination also of one area affects the other. So that illness, now what we see is a deficiency or a block in the physical, emotional, spiritual, and harmony that may leave an opening for disease. So spiritually also you get it, but spiritual basically harmonizes all those levels where the blocks are there. Now what happens, just as in Ayurveda we just saw now, I'm not going to repeat all that. So when the body is in equilibrium, then the disease cannot take the root. Now what happens? But if the body is off the balance, just as we saw now, eating the wrong time, eating the wrong food, thinking wrong, sleeping habits are all wrong. All those which are not natural gives you that illness that is going off the balance. And then what happens? These factors can block the channels of the disease that will result. So blocking of those channels, here comes the Reiki. So Reiki is, a Japanese form of energy healing, which is an alternative medicine that you call as. Yeah. And so what happens in Reiki? We make the cups as like this, and then we place it like suppose if I show you the eyes. Okay. So what happens just when you keep it there? Now it's not only the body that is healing, it is also your mind. Because what happens slowly, that energy. Now what happens in the palm? We have the universal energy which flows through our palms. That is what Mikao Usui, a Japanese person, developed that Reiki in 1920s, but it is practiced on about like 2005 years before, and it means the term comes Re means universal, and ki. Ki means the life force energy. So it means Reiki means the life force energy which is flowing through the body all the time. When it is blocked in some areas, it is just like as though you are, giving a pipe water to the garden. What happens if there is a block or there is a twist? The water flow stops, right? It obstructs it. In the same way, now how these blocks are developed? It's again, your memories, your conditionings, or your own expectations. They have, every organ has a different this blocks, regarding different this. Like suppose if I tell you liver. Now liver stores what? Expectations from your own self. I need to be the best. I need to go up. I need like this. So that I should have all these things. And when you don't have, what happens? You become liverish. That is where you store your emotions in the liver. Now, exactly in the same way, you store the emotions of your relationship with your partner in your life. Maybe, male or female, in the partner. It's the kidneys. So kidneys are the two where you store your emotions. And then what happens when you have blocks in them? So maybe there are some kidney stones developed, which will obstruct it. So all these things come up. These are just two examples which I've given. If you see the lungs work with the emotions of the insecurity. So when you are insecure, you get your lung diseases. So there are plenty, all the organs what we have here are all storing some emotions in them. And then what happens? The prominent ones will create blockages. In that situation, what happens? The movement and the flow of the healthy energy is blocked. And what happens? The result is stress and illness. Now, the illness can come in many other forms. You can name them, like related to that. There are many of them which come up. Now, what happens is, like anger. Now, with Reiki, I'll tell you a very good thing. In Reiki, we can always work with anger. We can do that very well. Now, really, I would have shown you, it could have been, but you can release your anger. And what happens when you release your anger? After that, what happens? You become so peaceful, I tell you, that is thrown out of your system. Even that can be done. So it is, the benefits are many of them. It really will Reiki promotes relaxation and reduces the stress and the anxiety just through the gentle touch of that. The touch of it can heal you so much. So it is actually the touch which transmits the universal life energy. Now what happens when what happens with that? There is an improvement of that flow and the balance of your energy to support the healing. See, healing happens on itself. You don't have to heal. You have to just support that by giving the energy to that, and the healing starts. And healing starts on all the levels. It's not only one level. So it is the body, mind, and even, of course, in your spiritual thing. So that is what. And I will just share with you what are the benefits of Reiki. We can just see that, it's in just very short 5 minutes I'll just take, or maybe less than that. So we just saw how the Reiki works. It helps for the emotional trauma healing. It's very good for emotional traumas. Those traumas which are there in your inner subconscious, it heals that part. And of course, energy level balancing that energy level also to develop yourself spiritually. to develop yourself, means to take you above that. It has endless advantages. We will just see a few of them, Besides, of course, positive mindsets and with the energy transfer that we saw all this, it promotes harmony and balance. That is the first one. So it is very good in promoting overall wellness. Reiki works wonderful in that, and because it is an energy transfer, it comes from the Reiki master who's there. Of course, there are attunements to be done. So you have Reiki 1, 2, 3. The levels are there. The first one is only your hand, which keeps on going in all the organs. They teach you of the parts of the body. And the second one is you can heal, from a distance also with the help of the symbols. So the symbols are there, and the symbols are how it works. You build a bridge first between you and the other one, and then there are other two symbols which work on that. That is how beautiful it is. It's very beautiful. If you would really love to learn Reiki, I will give you my Reiki master's number. You can learn it from her. She is a wonderful person, the best one. Today, if I am here, it's her contribution also to my life, very much, because making me come up to this here with the harmony, it's really wonderful. Yeah. And then what happens? You can have a positive lifestyle. That is another one. Then there's another very good, you can say, the benefit of Reiki is it relaxes and releases the tension from your body. That is what it is. Just like as we sit in meditation, of course, how do we relax? And how Gurudev says, just leave all your efforts. Just leave it. Let go. So it allows you to release those tensions, because you're so tensed up, I tell you. Releasing that tension also, you need that energy. So it allows simply to be, that is so beautiful. Isn't it? Just be with a pure relaxation, and of course with your clear heads, and release the tension and the stress of the day. So it is so beautiful and allows you, when you take Reiki to yourself, it allows you to be peaceful, relaxed, and lighter. And of course, all this will reflect in your day-to-day life. Isn't it? That calmness will show up. Not only on your body level, on your mind level also. Then it breaks down, then the third one, if we see, it breaks down the energy blocks and balances your mind, body, and spirit. That is so beautiful. It breaks down your energy blocks, those energy blocks which are there. So with that, if you go to see on the chakras, Reiki works very well, because it helps you to break those, and then your energy moves very swiftly. So what happens? The one previous to this, what we saw was the Kundalini Shakti. So how does Kundalini Shakti work then? It works in this way. That same life force energy, it goes on moving upwards. That is what it is. Yeah. So it is consistent, and so it is consistently, when you take Reiki consistently, it unblocks your flow, the blocks, and the flow of the energy is throughout your body, and it enhances your learning, your memory, and promotes your mental clarity. So again, to be more intelligent, what we have seen in Yog Vaashishtha, intelligence becomes very sharp. So it's one of them. It helps you in this also. Yeah. And then what happens? Those mood swings which are going through, like fear, anger, pain, and all these which are there, it subsides. So that is very beautiful. Okay. And it also supports your immune system. Now, what we saw for the COVID, you need a good immune system. And what is immune system? It is the ability to fight the disease, isn't it? So in that, you have that repairing, that self-healing, and of course, it also protects itself from exhaustion, burnout, or immune system failure. So it helps you in that also. And then it clears the mind and improves your focus. So that is very beautiful. So just as he says, have your self-effort, clear your mind, and just march, is what Yog Vaashishtha says. So here, if you see, Reiki is helping you in improving your focus and that positive energy transfer. That is a universal energy which you are drawing every time, every second you are drawing. But because of those blockages, it doesn't reaches us. That is what it is. It allows the mind to focus on the current events and not on your past mistakes, That is what it is. So be in the present is what Reiki helps you. And no more anxieties for the future. So this also helps you a lot in this Reiki. And it, of course, your quality of the sleep becomes very well. So, extremely relaxed. You go into the deep sleep state where Yog Vaashishtha says you have to be. So that is what it is. So again, if you link it with that, it takes you in that deep sleep. That is what it is. Yeah. So with the help of relaxation of your bodies, what happens? The sleep quality increases. So when you are in the deep sleep, actually the healing takes place in that sleep. When you're in the deep sleep, the healing takes place. And that is where Reiki works again. Sorry for that. And then it helps you in the emotional cleansing and spiritual growth. So that is very beautiful. Again, it is not only physical, but it is taking you more inner and deeper and deeper. That is what you, and then your life becomes beautiful. Again, your intention power increases. You just think and it happens. That is what also it is, because the clarity is there, the clarity. The more you have the clarity in you, the more it works. The self-healing works. And here what we are seeing is the natural state, of healing. So that is what it is. Naturally, it helps you in healing. So there are those symbols, and I can tell you there are those 3 degrees where you can learn. Third one comes the master symbol, which works very well. And anybody who are interested can contact me. Of course, I can give you, you can go and learn that, and self-healing can take place. Yes. So thank you, Someshwarji, for, hello. Thank you, Someshwarji. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was
Sangeeta ji. So this was one more way, that whatever we have known till now, that Reiki is another way of healing process. And Sangeeta ji have very beautifully introduced what Reiki is, how one can get into Reiki, how one can learn Reiki, and if one does so, what are the different benefits they can achieve in their life. So that was very, very beautiful. Thank you so much, Sangeeta ji, for that contribution.
Thank you. And I would like to add that I myself, I'm a Reiki healer, and I am a homeopath also. And plus, I have actually learned acupuncture also. So I used to love healing, like from very beginning, because seeing people in pain, I get the discomfort within myself, why they are there. So I can really help them out that is what I always chose, as healing as my subject, because in being in this life. So, and actually it's like I turned out to be a good healer there. Really. So thank you very much. And that is the grace on me. It's
that's really,
yeah.
Amazing, Sangeeta ji. No wonder Gurudev have chosen you as an instrument to spread the knowledge across and heal the people. Wonderful. So let us continue with our session. So here what is being said is that we have seen the multiple ways, multiple paths are available, multiple pathies, allopathy, Ayurvedic, then naturopathy, then we have Reiki, then we have homeopathy, multiple streams of ways of dealing with the things are there. And then the last one comes is the spiritual way of healing anything. So which Raki also is also comes under the spiritual way of healing the things. So here in the spiritual way of healing the things, it comes under the first thing is your Atma Jnana. That is your knowledge about self-realization will help you. That's the root of everything. Once that is there, then other things will automatically follow. So that's the first thing that will help as a spiritual healing process. And as Sangeeta ji already said, healing is something which goes on in a biological. The healing is very natural to our body. It heals on its own. All that we have to do is create that support system so that the healing becomes smooth, natural, and faster. That is where the other support systems comes into picture. So one such support system in spiritual is the knowledge, self-realization. Second one comes to practices that we do, yoga, pranayama, meditation, all these practices. Then the third thing comes is the mantra uchchara. That's exactly what we do in the satsang. So the sadhana comes all your practices. The seva, when you help somebody else, then that also passes on some blessings to you, some punya karma, some good deeds to you. That also helps to your healing. And then the last one comes is satsang, chanting the mantras in a very specific manner. Then that also helps. So here Vaashishtha Muni tells that these all the other samanya vyadis, the simple vyadis which are there, disease in your system, that has come because of some temporary reasons. That can be dealt with using the Vaidyakiya, means all the things like you do some little bit of operation here and there, or using some tantra, some yantra, all these things. And then the other related things such as the using the related any particular things, or using the ratnas and all these things, or using the mantrochara. When you chant the mantras, then that also can help you with the healing. So then other things, these are the paramparic, this ancient upayas that is being said, and that is where the pavitra aushadhi, some of the aushadhis which we take, they are actually have that thing because of the way that is been prepared. They have some purity in that. So that pavitra aushadhi, and sometimes even taking the snana, people say that okay, if you go and take bath in the river of Ganges, it also eliminates some vadis. Right now the condition of the water, Ganga water, is not in that condition, but spiritually it is being believed that it does. So like this, when we go into the details of this mantras, it says that every mantra is like created. For example, you have those vyanjans, right? This vowels and then consonants. So you have these consonants like say yer, love. These are all consonants, and then in that there are some bij aksharas. There are some aksharas which are the bij, which are the fruit of this, such as vowels. For example, this and they are also associated with your 5 elements. For example, it says you say na om, rim, klim, all these mantras are there. So for example, ram, that ram is there, that is its beach is the agni, that fire element. Then we say yam, then that root is the vayu, the vayu is the beach. So when we chant such mantras, mantrocharas, then these beach akshara root, means this root of that beach akshara root mantra creates that different emotions, different bhavnas, and it creates that healing energy, spiritual energy in us. And then it is able to remove that dushit, those hormones, dushit ras. If something is there, that annaras, that thing which is not yet digested, it will help you to digest with that, or something which is not required, it will also help you to throw it out of your system. So it affects, these mantras have an impact on your body also, as well as your mind. And if there are some doshas, if there are some diseases in both of them, mantra can help you to remove that from your system. And because of this reason, this pancha mahabhuta, this stool body, and then it's sukshma thing, that is the man, the subtle is the mind, and the stool is your body. So it will remove that thing from that also. That is being said here. Then on the thing that if we see it from an art of living perspective, we also see it from a perspective of spirituality. and all the practices in of course yoga, pranayama, meditation, all these things comes into picture. But we also see there is a Guru Puja that is involved. When we do the Guru Puja here, chanting those mantras, expressing your gratitude, when that love, that aspect comes into picture, when that devotion, that bhakti aspect comes into picture, that also helps you with some level of healing. That heals when you sit in satsang and do this satsang, it heals. That healing comes. Then also there is another aspect that healing can also be done by passing on the energies. That is when we say we are blessing someone. So what is happening in that blessing? Blessing is basically the Shakti path, that energy. So we have the blessings course also. There are blessers. When they go and attend the blessings course, and then they bless, they are able to bless the people. They are able to pass on that energy. Just like Sangeeta ji explained us about Reiki, there is a blessing course that is also there. Then Sangeeta ji also mentioned about something called as hypnosis. So using that hypnosis, something called as eternity process. So if there are certain things which are there as a block, some as mental block or something there, which is from the past, that fear is there, because of some stuck is there, eternity process also can help. So these are all different upayas that we see, be it allopathy, be it naturopathy, be it homeopathy, be it Ayurveda, be it all the different practices, all the yoga asanas, all the pranayamas, all the meditation techniques, all these different things, or be it blessings, Shaktipat, or be it sadhana, seva, satsang, all these things. No, these becomes your upaya, or the Ayurveda, the lifestyle, the wellness. All this becomes the solutions. No, these are all the solutions. These are all the different upayas which are available to remove those adis and vyadhi, these diseases, either psychosomatic or at the body level, from your system. So some of them you can definitely don't wait till those adis and vyadhis comes into system. Some of they are inbuilt. You need to even remove that and then walk on this path as a preventive maintenance, as a preventive care. That is always the best. Keep on doing it. Don't wait that, okay, when I will fall sick, then I will do it. No, do it so you don't fall sick. That is the crux. That's a gist of everything that we looked at today. So then Vaashishtha addresses Rama like this Kundalini, and it's all the other things. It helps you at the level of your body, also as the level of your mind, and it removes all the root of the rogas, the diseases and its roots. That how to remove that is what I have explained to you in detail here now. Now let me start explaining to you about the siddhi. How does one can achieve those siddhis? How does one can achieve those powers? So that is the Vigyan of Siddhi. That Siddhi Vigyan is something that we will see tomorrow. आज के लिए हम लोग इस सत्र को यहाँ पे रोक लेते हैं, स्वल्प विराम ले लेते हैं, ताकि हम लोग कल पे इसको सेशन को कंटिन्यू कर सके. जय गुरुदेव.